Jen, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Welcome to New York off of Taylor's 1989 album on the guitar. So here's a quick overview of everything I'll be covering in this video today, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so you only need to know 4 different chord shapes to play through this entire song, and we're going to start with our G major, which looks like this and sounds like this. By the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts you're seeing on screen, I do cover how to do that in my free beginner series right here on YouTube, so make sure to check that out right here. The next chord shape is our D suspended 4. We also have our C add 9. And the last chord shape is our E minor 7. Those are the only 4 chords you need to know to play through the entire song. So go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really memorize these chord shapes, as well as practice transitioning back and forth between them, because it will make learning the rest of the song so much easier. And fun fact, these are actually 4 chords that Taylor uses a lot, especially in her older music, so the sooner you can learn them, the more you'll be able to play more of her songs. But once you have these chords under your belt, we can go ahead and talk about the strumming that I would suggest for this song. So as I always say, if you are brand new to playing guitar, or you're somebody who struggles with playing guitar and singing at the same time, the first thing I would suggest doing is to bring up the song and go ahead and go through the entire thing with just a single down strum on each chord change as you sing through the song. And you want to take this time to really get used to what word or what syllable you're on whenever those chords are changing. So here's a quick example of what that would look like.
Walking through the crowd, village is aglow, kaleidoscope of loud heartbeats, undercoats.
Alright, so that's just a really quick example, but you would essentially want to do that for the entire song and just really make sure you know where those chords are going to be changing. And this actually is something you do right now if you check out my Patreon page. I do have this entire guide available to download and print out, so I'll make sure to leave that link in the description box for those of you who are interested. But once you have that down, we can go ahead and add to this to create more of a full strumming pattern that you can use for this song. Alright guys, so I have 2 different strumming patterns to show you guys today, but I wanted to start with the one that is more versatile. You can use it for the whole song if you wanted. As you can see, it's just all down strums, and we are going to be counting this in an 8th note rhythm, so it's going to sound like this. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, 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 down. Alright, super simple, just all down strums. And basically what we're going to do here is play this pattern through 1 time per chord throughout the song. However, there are quite a few places where we actually want to play 2 different chords within 1 measure, so we're going to have to do a split measure pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and explain that now. I'm going to add a vertical line here after the 3rd down strum, and this just represents where I want you to change chords. So a good example of this is right here at the beginning on verse 1. We're starting here on our G chord. What you want to do is split the measure between G and D sus4. So the G is going to get the left half, 1 and 2. Switch quickly to your D sus4, finish it out, and 3 and 4, and then when you get to your C add 9, this is going to be a full measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright? So if you're looking on my guide on my Patreon page, anywhere you see that little hash mark, that's just going to denote anywhere you want to do a split measure. So speeding it up just a little bit, we've got G, D, C add 9, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright? And basically that little phrase that we just played through is how you can play through almost the entire song. However, there is something I wanted to show you that you can do, which are palm mute and accents. So palm muting basically is when you take your pick or your hand that has your pick in it, and I'm taking the side of my palm here, and whenever I'm strumming, I'm going to kind of gently rest the side of my hand on the guitar strings right above where the bridge of my guitar is, so your hand's going to be pretty far back. If you lightly rest it on the strings as you strum, you should have more of a dampened sound. Alright, that's going to be a palm mute. So if you can apply that to this down strum pattern, you'll hear how it kind of quiets the whole thing down. Alright, so that's the first thing I wanted to add. The second thing are called accents, and basically what that is we're going to emphasize certain beats in this strumming pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and turn some of these airs green. As you can see, the first beat, the and of the 2, and the 4 are all green, and what I want you to do there is when you're strumming, you're going to give it just a little extra emphasis by kind of strumming all of the strings and having kind of more of a faster motion with your wrist. okay? And then all of the regular arrows, or the purple arrows that are not accented, you can kind of just concentrate more on the middle strings and do less of a wide motion with your strumming hand. All right? So if you put the accents in, it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right? Accents are something that you can add in. You can totally ignore it if you want, but if you do add it in, it really helps establish more of a rhythm in the guitar, and it just makes the whole thing sound a little bit more upbeat. So now if we put our split measures and everything back in, it would go like this. We've got G, D suspended, C add 9 for full measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right? So what I would suggest doing is to palm mute all of the verses throughout the song, and then whenever you get to the chorus and the pre-chorus, we would just kind of let that ring out without the palm mute. So let me go ahead and go through an example of the first verse with everything in it just to show you how it sounds. I am going to speed it up quite a bit so we can get it more at full tempo, but I'm still adding in the palm mute and the accents. We've got G, D, C add 9, G split to D sus 4, C add 9.
The village is aglow, kaleidoscope of loud heartbeats under coats. Everybody here wanted something more, searching for a sound we hadn't heard before. And it said, all right, this goes into the chorus. On the chorus, what I would suggest doing is just a single down strum for the first half of the chorus. Welcome to New York, it's been waiting for you, welcome to New York. Then when you get to the second half of the chorus, go ahead and put all of those down strums back in, but you can take that palm mute out. Welcome to New York, it's been waiting for you, welcome to New York. All right? And that leads into that kind of post-chorus section. This is where I would actually use a different strumming pattern. So let's go ahead and talk about strumming pattern 2. All right, guys, so the second strumming pattern is totally optional. If you wanted to play through the entire song with the all down strum pattern, you totally could. But I like to use this just for that little post-chorus section to kind of give the guitar a little bit more variation. As you can see, this is a classic Taylor Swift strumming rhythm. We've got down, down, up, down, up, and it's going to be in an 8th note count that sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. All right? If you've seen other my tutorials, you'll notice that we use this quite a bit, and it fits really well into this song as well. So what I like to do is on that post-chorus, I'll switch to this second strumming rhythm. So let's go ahead and look at that. We're starting here on our G chord. All of these chords we're going to do the full measure for, okay? So we've got G, down, down, up, down, up, to D sus 4, down, down, up, down, up, to C add 9, and we're going to hold this for 2 measures, down, down, up, down, up twice. Then we go to our E minor 7, down, down, up, down, up, back to D sus 4, down, down, up, down, up, to C add 9, twice again. All right, and this is literally the only section in the song that I like to use this island strum, but I think it matches really well with the song here. So let's go ahead and speed it up just a little, and I'll add some singing so you can hear how it sounds. It's a new soundtrack, I could dance to this beat forevermore. The lights are so bright, but they never blind me. All right, and then for the second half where you go back to Welcome to New York, that's where I like to go back to that first strumming pattern. Welcome to New York. So again, this second strumming pattern is again totally optional, but I like to use it in the post-chorus, so I thought I would show it to you guys as well. So those are the strumming rhythms that I would suggest playing for this song. All right guys, so again, go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really look over these strumming rhythms, get them under your muscle memory so that you can play them without thinking about the counting, and that's how you'll be able to sing on top of it later. If you are struggling with the coordination or the rhythm of any of these strumming patterns, I actually do have a Practice With Me Strumming series on my Forever Faithful channel, and I've covered both of these patterns over there. So I will link that playlist in the corner if you need it. But once you have this under your belt, then we can go ahead and put together everything we've learned in this tutorial today to play through the song. 1, 2, ready, go.
have fun jamming out to the rest of the song with me? Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other Swiftie sing-along guitar tutorials. I've covered so many of her songs from all the different albums and eras, so if you're a Swiftie who loves to play her songs on the guitar, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I will link it in the description box down below. If you enjoyed learning this song with me, then you should definitely check out this video. Not only does it have a super similar vibe and feel, but it's just as fun and easy to play. So I'll see you over there. Bye!